controller, and we'll see how we can migrate or how we can synchronize as part of your real-time scenario, right? From on-premises domain controller to Azure domain, Azure Active Directory. So this is kind of a pretty much prerequisite for every organization, whereas to use your O365 mailboxes today. It means if you want to use O365 web emails in your organization, your user's data has been synchronized from on-premises AD to Azure Active Directory. This is a prerequisite. Then only you can able to make use of the O365 services. Is it clear? So as of today, you guys might have only using the O365 mailboxes, but you're never concerned where is this ID, how it coming and all other stuff. Correct? That is one of the use case I'm just giving to configure the web emails. Your Azure AD setup is mandatory. So most of the companies, most of the projects, you never get this opportunity to work because Azure AD configuration, synchronizing the users from on-premises to cloud, it is kind of a very basic requirement that they will be done in at the time of initial phase of a project. Right? Best example is today if someone is to work for a Cognizant or a HCL or a TCS organizations. So this AD setup will be in already might have done. That is how you are using your web emails. Got it? But this information will give you how the setup will be. But getting this opportunity will be pretty rare. But when it comes to interview, this information will be helpful. Okay, guys. So, Aras, let me share an
Yeah,
example.
okay, sir.
What I'm gonna do now. If you see my portal, right, we have the virtual mission 01, which we have created in central US, or VM02. Which one we have done it yesterday? VM02, I guess. Yeah, West US 2. So I'm just logging into the server. This is our DR server. VM01 should be our domain controller. Let me connect the VPN for this. So I'm just logging the other VM. So how you can check whether mission your server is joined to domain or not? If you go to the properties of your server, you could see here work group or a domain join. Here if you see this mission is into work group only. Seems to be someone who has deleted the virtual machine what we have created. This is the one. Are you able to see the domain name here? AZT27.com, guys. So this is the domain
So,
as part of the yesterday session, like previous session on the Saturday we have created. It means we configure domain control in the server. So typically these roles will not come to you, but knowing the information will be helpful when you're facing an interview or when you're doing some kind of technical discussion within your team. This will be helpful. Now what I will do, I will configure users like in a real time how you can do similar scenario. There is the Active Directory users and groups here. This is your Active Directory. You could see the users. By default, there is no users at all, right? And the built-in users will be Azure admin only, whoever is created as part of a VM provisioning. That is who is the only user. Now, what I will do for the sake of our training purpose, I'm gonna create couple of users, right? User 01, user 02, user 03 in the Active Directory of our own server. Assume that this server can be at an on-premises, can run at Azure as a virtual machine of your domain controller. At the end of the day, those users which you create in your server could be listed down in this window, like user 01, user 02. Here, directory sync is no, because we are all guests here. When you are synchronized from users from on-premises to cloud, you could see directory sync is yes. Right, let's just test that particular part, how it functions, what are the different categories we need to do, and a step-by-step procedure. Now I'm in the server. I'm just creating for my training purpose couple of users. So this is how when you join into any of the organization, your ID gets created in the backend, right? Let's say I'm just giving user 01, there is no last name, and this is also user 01. If you see user 01 at the rate AZT27.com real time, username dot at the rate TCS.com, HCL.com, something that's all. Click on next. Your password will be whatever the password you would like to give it. If you guys remember, when you're first time logging into the system, they will ask you to reset the password. Correct? That will happen. They will share you like welcome 123, let's say TCS 123 kind of common password. They will, as soon as you enter the password, click on enter, what it will do, it will ask you to reset the password by your own. That this is where we will push that setting. So user must change password at next logon. So what it means, I am giving one reference password. As soon as if he enters it, it will force him to do the password reset. Is it been, have you ever experienced this, Harsha Saidu? You will get a normal password and then as soon as you enter it, it will ask you to reset the password, right? Yeah. So I was just creating couple of users now. Finish. Now you could see user 01 got created. And similarly, I'm also creating user 02. Click on next. I'm just giving some random password. So as training, I'm not insisting the users to change the password. It's just I'm just giving fixed in password. I created two users here, right? These are all built in. You could see computers, domains, and all of the stuff. Two users we have created. Along with that, Let me create one group also. Let's say one group I'm just creating. This is AZT27 hyphen training is the group name. Right, click on OK. This is your group under which I can also add the members also. Currently in this group there is no members at all. User, two users I want to add it. So what I have typically done, I created one group, I have added two users in it. This is similar to your distribution list. So they will create one group, they will convert this as a distribution group. When you're sending in emails to send to multiple peoples, what you will do, you will add the distribution list or your team DL. So the DL is nothing but first it will get created as a group. That group they will enable as a DL distribution list feature as well. So now what we have done here, we created one group called AZT27. We created username called user01 and user02. Now our requirement is from this on-premises domain controller to Azure domain controller. We need to synchronize the user. So that is how when the real time comes in, your organization will do the synchronization. For that, well, let me give me a minute. This server is not needed for us. Now I'm just navigating to you to the Azure portal. Here, if you could see that there is a concept called AD Connect. Are you able to see this?
Hmm. We're able to see.
Yeah, this is the feature or the setup file which is responsible for synchronizing your on-premises user to Azure Active Directory. So here, are you able to see there is a download Azure AD Connect link? You just click on it. It's just setup file. So what I will do, I will copy this URL and I will download it within the server. So this is my server. I'm just going to my browser, Internet Explorer. So instead of copying and then the setup file, I'm just trying to download this into my server where it has been responsible. I just downloaded it. I'm just running this file as well. Okay, I'm just installing this my AD Connect. So this is how, as soon as it got installed, it will say, it will ask you to give a consent of license and privacy. Click on continue and you will be with the express settings. So express settings in the sense when we install any kind of setup, we'll go with the default options, right? That we will call it as the express settings. If you are not good with the express settings, we can also go with the customized settings as well. So for now I'm just going with the express settings. Okay, if you could see it here, you need one user account, right, to connect. One of the prerequisite is you need to communicate between. So what we are typically doing, guys, here, let me explain in MS Paint. So we have an on-premises domain controller, you have an Azure Active Directory, you are trying to establish the synchronization between these two using a tool name. This will be synchronization will happen on both the ends. This will be, let's say this is Active Directory domain controller. This is AZT27.com and this is your Azure AD. So when this when it first time, guys, look, To establish the trust between these two, you need to enter the credentials which have a right set of privileges. That right set of privileges, it means you should have an account with the privileged of enterprise administrator. What is the most privileged role in domain controller, guys? Enterprise administrator. When it comes to your cloud, you need a global administrator, right? Before referencing here as a global administrator, we should have these privileges or permissions in both the ends. Then only you can establish the trust. So, so hope you guys have remembered that we have some roles which we have discussed as part of our RBAC, role-based access control, like owner, contributor, reader, we discussed, right? Those are all
Yeah,
meant for
yeah.
only on a subscription level. When it comes to AD, you have separate roles. So here, the roles which we discussed for a owner, contributor, or reader is only meant for your subscriptions to
Subscription.
manage.
Subscription. Hmm.
So similar owner in subscriptions in Azure AD, the utmost privileged role will be global administrator. If you could see what is the description they given, can manage all aspects of Azure AD. It means as being a global admin, you can do anything. Okay, like tomorrow, let's say you are part of an Azure AD team, you are taking care of only users and groups. So what they will do, they will assign a role called user administrator so that you can only perform user related options only. And there is a guy who can responsible for security. So for him, you can assign the security administrator. You got my point, right? Someone is responsible in only takes care of licensing part. You can assign them as a licensing administrator. So these details, right, is pretty much common with respect to technology. In Azure AD also is not like everything will be handled by you and me, because Azure AD also has lot of technology inside. So as being an administrator of a cloud, so the, whatever we need, so Azure AD getting a global administrator in a real time is it's never possible, because as being a global admin you can do anything. So normally they will never ever give you the permission of a global administrator. Now, if you could see here, we need two accounts which has a enterprise administrator privileges and which has a global administrator privileges. So what I will do now, let me check my enterprise administrator privileges. So this is my on-premises AD. I'm just going to users and groups, built-in users. Are you able to see anywhere as enterprise administrator group?
Yeah, third one.
Which this is the administrator only. So checking for the users and groups actually. Are you able to see there is an enterprise admins? If you click on it,
Hmm. Yeah.
there is a members. So I have an account who is part of enterprise admins group. So Azure admin I can use it for enterprise admin. Now I need to create one account here with the default directory of Azure AD with a global admin privileges. So I'll create a user. So here I could say AZT27. So here, are you seeing that with the default domain, right? akasirivenkat@gmail.onmicrosoft.com. In a real-time scenario, guys, this name will be changed to, let's say TCS, in the sense tcs.onmicrosoft.com. In the same drop down, You'll get other domains also. I will let you know where the other domains will comes in. Right, this is a default domain when you subscribe to the Microsoft Azure AD. So what is the default domain, guys? Your organization name dot on Microsoft dot com. So I'm just AZT27. I'm not doing any other setup for now. So it is auto generated. I need a password so that I can reset the password. Notepad. So for this role, I need to provide him as a global administrator so that he could help us with synchronizing the user data. I'm not selecting any other data, so very basic information is T27. So let me see whether I'm able to log in to the portal.azure.com with a user account what we just created to confirm that whatever we have been working credentials are correct. So the username should be, this is the username, and this is a temporary password. I'm just resetting to the permanent password. So it means now I have reset my password. I am having my global administrator privileges as well. Correct? This is what we have just been seeing. When you want to synchronize from Active Directory from on-premises or your Azure Virtual Machine Active Directory users to Azure AD, on a permissions front, what you need, you should have a enterprise admin. We already having it. Global administrator, we just created one user and assigned the global admin privileges also. Now we have these two things are ready. One important thing want to give it here is that, look, if you see there is a custom domains, right under Azure AD Connect, you could see something called custom domain names. When you click on the custom domain name, what is the domain you are seeing now by default? The name of your organization dot on Microsoft.com. This is what you are seeing now, right? If you want to check what kind of default domains, you can log into portal.azure.com using your company account today also, you could see it, right? But when you are creating users will not accept the usernames with @tcs.onmicrosoft.com, @hcl.onmicrosoft.com. Instead, what they will expect, guys, the username should be tcs.com, hcl.com, something that sort. For that, we need to add the domain, right? Let's say in our case, my domain is AZT27.com is the domain, for example. I need to add this domain like this.
Then, I'm not able to see your screen.
How about you, Harsha? Harsha, able to see my screen? Saidu, what I will do, I'm just close the like stop your screen sharing. I'm sharing it
Okay,
on screen. Let me know once you're able to see it. Huh?
okay, sure.
Yeah, I just shared it
Yeah,
once.
yeah, able to see.
Huh, okay. So what I've just done, so Now my company name is, instead of tcshcl.com, my organization name is AZT27.com. How you can add a custom domain, AZT27.com, click on add domain. Once you add it, it will be showing you like this unverified. It means we need to purchase these domains, guys. You might be seeing lot of ads nowadays with respect to GoDaddy.com. Correct? Are you able to see most of the ad GoDaddy? Why? What GoDaddy will do? It does helps you to buy your domains if it is available. So once you purchased your domain, you will have access to the GoDaddy DNS settings where we need to put up these records. Alias is at the rate, pointer is to this value, TTL is 3600. Once you update this data at your GoDaddy service provider and click on verify, what will happen? It will say that you are correct owner only. You have updated your records as we mentioned here. So it will become a green tick mark here. Okay.
Surender, what is TLS, Surender? TLS?
Where you
T,
are
this
asking,
one. TTL.
TTL is time to live. Your domain validation in seconds, 3600 seconds is a 1 minute or 1 hour actually. So TTL value is one of the default value. TTL stands for time to live. So when your DNS settings is happens, right, your request when it once it is validated when you are accessing, in the backend it will check for 1 hour, it will be validated. Once after completing 1 hour, again it will go and check whether this domain is valid or not. Okay. So comes to real time, AZT27.com we have added. Similarly, we'll add TCS.com, HCL.com like this. And once after you add those records to the DNS service provider, then you can see the status as available domain and you can make the domain as a primary also once after we have added this so that your users can be credited AZT27.com. Clear how to add? If you're in your company, if you're having multiple domains, so it means TCS as one organization, tcs.com in one domain, master domain, under which india.tcs.com, us.tcs.com, they will maintain multiple subdomains also. It means that subdomains also can be added and maintained at Azure AD. Okay, it's not like only one company, one domain only you can do that. Answer is no. You can typically can do multiple domain configuration as well. Clear? Now let's go ahead and initiate the synchronization of users from on-premises to cloud. So we are in that step only. So here, as I mentioned, it requires a prerequisite of identify ourselves first, connecting to Azure AD, providing are able to see Azure AD Global Administrator credentials. So what is the global administrator we created, guys? Just now we created a user with this AZT27. This is my user and password. I have reset my password. Click on next. What is the next option it will ask? It will validate the credentials whether this particular user has a global admin or not. If you see connecting to Microsoft Online, verifying the account, retrieving the directory, all those things it is getting, examining the domains. Second step is Active Directory Enterprise Admin Credentials. So Enterprise Administrator AZT27.com is my domain. Under this enterprise admin name is Azure Admin. This particular account has a enterprise admin credentials. Give me 1 minute. Sorry guys. So what we have just been doing, so we have entered the, as part of our AD Connect, we have entered our credentials of Azure AD with a global admin privilege, on premises with enterprise admin privilege, and click on next. It is asking, it is showing the domain validation page. So on premises, you have a domain name called AZT27.com. This is active directory. But when it comes to Azure AD, what it is saying here, this particular AZT27.com, you are not verified because it's a training purpose. I don't have this domain purchased. That is how your, it is not been showing as a verified domain here. Correct? Is unverified. Real time scenario, what will happen, guys? It will automatically picks up the domain. Let's say tcs.com. It will automatically get the verified button here. So here also you could see in AD current synchronization also, it will show you that it is been synchronized, it has been verified. On premises and cloud, you will get the same domains and verified things. So in my scenario, I'm not verifying because I don't own this domain. But when it comes to real time, guys, here you could see the your domain name as a verified button. Instead of not verified, you could see as it's verified. Clear? So I'm just continuing without validating this domain verification. I'm just continue with the default domain names. So you could see I'm just starting the synchronization. Once after installation is done, click on install. So it will install one SQL Server Express Edition for internally. It will synchronize the services. It will synchronize the users. What is the expectation, guys? At the end of the day, we should see the users from on-premises to Azure, right? User 01 and user 02 should be listed here from a directory synchronized from on-premises. Okay, we will get with the default domain at the rate akasirivenkat dot on microsoft.com, because AZT27.com we haven't verified. That's why you could see that it's a default domain names, but that's okay. Let's see that synchronization. So it will just take a couple of minutes. Any questions, guys? So far, able to follow what we have been discussing?
No, 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 Surinder, we are good.
Okay. You could see that creating Azure directory synchronization account. So what it will do, it will create one service account by itself, because we allowed global admin privileged permission, right? When you are configuring it. So as a global admin, that account can perform anything. So what it has just done, it created one service account as well. So if I go here, the users tab, if I refresh it, you could see some service accounts also is getting creating. Okay, are you able to see this one account, guys? On-premises direct synchronization service account. This is automatically got created. If you see here, directory synchronized also, yes, it came from on-premises, not from a cloud created. It is came from on-premises as one service account. It will use to synchronize your data from on-premises to Azure, right? On-premises directory synchronization service account. You could see that. It is checking for AD Connect, Health Agent for synchronization, all other things. The
Yeah, Surinder.
yeah, for official interval, guys, they will say 40 minutes. So synchronize if you are creating tomorrow any users in on-premises, and to get this users in cloud, it will say 40 minutes, but in general it will happen immediately 10-15 minutes. But if you are the responsible person, make sure to tell them the changes to be verified after 40 minutes. That is recommended always. So done with the synchronization, guys. Click on exit. So I can go back here and test the synchronization after 2 minutes. So the logs in your on-premises, you could be having AD Connect. This is your desktop application. You can also get installed. This is the one. Are you able to see there's a synchronization service, web service, synchronization rules editor? So you can open this, and you can also see there is a AD Connect and all other stuff. So I'm just opening this synchronization service. So here you could typically see is what exactly is happening, guys. Everything you could see, any logs, any errors for troubleshooting purpose, this window will be helpful. So if you see that full import, full export is successful just now, all right, it will tell you how many users it has been synchronized, everything, right? Project, okay. Now let me go ahead and refresh and see whether the users has been available. Are you able to see here? There is users of user 01, user 02, which we created on premises. Is it listing here in cloud now? Is it visible? User 01 and user 02. So this is what I'm referring in a real time also. This is how the synchronization configuration will happen. But getting this opportunity is very rare. It cannot be done uh, like AD connect configuration and stuff, because this is very basic requirement to use O365 mailbox. So this setup will be definitely be there from the beginning. But this is your understanding how the users can come from on-prem AD to Azure AD. Clear, guys, how we can set up the AD connect.
Yes,
Similarly, you can
Surendra.
also, there is a group name we created, AZT27 hyphen training, right? It came from on-premises only. We haven't created this. It came automatically from on-premises to cloud, right? This is how typically your AD Connect will function, right? This particular setup, you will be not get an opportunity to work, but this particular information will help you how the Azure AD functions, how the users are coming to your Azure AD. How will you identify users are coming from on-premises or users are created in Azure AD? This is where directory synced. If you see this directory synced is yes, it means these users are coming from on-premises or a domain controller. If the directory synced is saying no, means these users are created and managed at Azure only. Clear? Any questions, guys, so far?
No, Surendra.
Okay. In tomorrow's session, what we will do, let's say you have an you are working for a project, so you have so many developers, correct, in your company. So for in-house developing applications, how you will help them with the authentication for the applications using Azure AD, correct? Let's say today you are having so many internal applications for you in your organization, correct? For the internal applications, you will be logging in with your username and password of company username and password. So whatever you are entering as a company username and password, that will typically happens from where? From Azure Active Directory. So we will see tomorrow for a developers authenticating of your directory using Azure AD configuration, how we will perform. And other part, how you can log into third party applications using your company username and password, right? Let's say in your company you have a Facebook you have been using. For a Facebook to log in, instead of using your own Gmail account, you can also use and log in using the organization username and password. So that will call a single sign-ons. You might have heard this SSO, single sign-on, right? So Harsha, you asked one time for your SharePoint also there is API permissions, read permissions, write permissions, authentication and other stuff. We'll discuss that part in tomorrow's session. How, as being an Azure administrator, how you can create an application, how to provide grant some API level permissions. We'll see it in tomorrow's session. Yeah.
Okay, Sanand.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow, same time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Surendra.
Bye.
హర్ష అడిగి వెళ్ళావు ఇప్పుడు దాకా
ఉన్నాను రవి.
నీ
ఇంకా
ఫోన్
ఉన్నాను.
ఎన్నిసార్లు పిలిచాడు ఆయన సురేందర్ హర్ష హర్ష అని
అవునా?
మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళిపోయావు.
అని చెప్పినారు.
హర్ష రిజైన్ పెట్టాక ఏమన్నారు, ఏమన్నా చెప్పారా?
మెయిల్స్ వస్తున్నాయి సురేంద్ర. రిజైన్ మళ్ళా విత్డ్రా చేశారు.
విత్డ్రా చేశారా?
నేను చేశాను, విత్డ్రా చేశాను. నేను చేశాను. మళ్ళా మెయిల్స్ ఏం వస్తున్నాయి, బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ వెరిఫికేషన్ నిన్న కూడా వచ్చింది. నిన్న కాదు మొన్న.
బీజీదా?
బీజేపీ.
ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నావు విత్డ్రా? విత్డ్రా ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నావు?
ఏదో తీసుకున్నా. ఎట్లా మనకి ఉపయోగపడవు కదా, తీసుకున్నా తీసుకోకపోయినా.
సరేలే, ఆనకాల మాట్లాడతారా మరి?
సరే, ఓకే, బాయ్.